Hey everyone, the Instant Camera Guy here. I live in a little place called Australia, and Australia is rather famous for being very sunny. Now, what you may not know is that Polaroid film and sunlight don't particularly get along all that well. And if you're shooting in bright sunlight and don't shield your film properly, you can end up getting streaks, particularly on the top part of your image, that look like this, and this, and just generally getting quite washed out, overexposed colors. And the reason that this happens is due to the opacification layer, which is basically, you can think about it like a layer of sunscreen for your film that helps protect it while it develops. It isn't 100% perfect, and it can let light in very bright sunny days, like what I'm experiencing right now. Now, Polaroid Originals does have a product called a frog tongue, which will shield your film. The frog tongue looks a little like this. But what if you don't have a frog tongue? What if you can't find one, or you simply just don't want to spend the money on one? Well, I'm going to show you two methods that are going to help quite a lot. Now, the first tip that I wanted to show you is to change the way that you're shooting so that as the film ejects, you want to put the camera close to your chest so that the image goes face up just across where your sternum is. Now, this is a technique that I kind of just developed out of necessity, just from having shot instant film for so long. Back in the days of the Impossible project, the film was so light sensitive, you basically couldn't shoot outside at all, unless you had a frog tongue or were ejecting the film straight into a box. So if you think it's bad now, you weren't around 10 years ago when Impossible project was around, because it was quite ridiculous. But I have here just an empty pack of film that I've reloaded some old photos back into, just to demonstrate, since I'm not going to waste precious film just for the sake of this video. But that would be the dark slide. And basically what you want to do is take the photo, and as the film ejects, I'm going to put the camera to my body like so that the image comes out. Now, I've never really seen myself do this because I can't have a third-person out-of-body experience, so this is going to be the first time I'm observing it using the camera. So it's sort of like this. Like so. And what you want to do is just hold it across your body. The rear of the image is completely light-proof, so you don't have to worry about light getting in there. And then what I like to do is just slide it down and into my pocket. Doing so will drastically reduce the amount of light that can get in and ruin your photo. And really, this is important only for the first minute or so. Even on just the first few seconds, doing this is going to save your image quite a lot. So I'll just show that one more time. Basically what you're just listening for is that shutter to fire, that motor to start up, and you just want to eject it across your chest. Very, very easy. The second technique that I wanted to show you is even easier than the first. What you're going to do, you'll either need the dark slide that came with your camera, or even just an old Polaroid photo that you've already taken. What you're going to do, drop the door of your camera like so. You don't have to worry about light leaking into the film. You can open the door while there's film in the camera. It's not going to affect anything because the film has a little plastic part that prevents light from coming in. What you're going to do, taking an old Polaroid photo or your dark slide, what you want to do is on the top of the roller, you're going to push the image through, like so, until it comes to about there. You're not sending the film through the rollers, you're just putting it on top. What this is going to do, and you can just push it in a little bit, this acts like a protective tongue for the camera. And what's going to happen is when you take a photo, your image is going to eject underneath the first image. And what that's going to do is allow you to create a little sandwich that's going to completely protect your film, like so. And you just take two like that, and that's it, completely light-proof and protected. You can stick that in your pocket. Now, when it comes to box-type cameras, such as the 600, or even the original one-step SX-70 series, there is a fairly elegant solution in the form of a frog tongue. These cameras already possess a frog tongue, it's just a little shorter, and Polaroid Originals make reproductions that are a bit longer and that will curl out and completely protect your film. Like this one. And if you've ever needed proof as to just how long I've been fixing instant cameras, my frog tongues are Impossible branded. But these are very, very handy. They're easy to fit and are a great solution. And you can get them for the SX-70 too, however the SX-70 was never really designed to use them. And the frog tongues kind of just sit awkwardly at the front of the camera around here and sort of get in the way of things and end up getting crinkled and damaged just through regular use. And as a result, I don't personally use them. I use the two techniques that I showed at the start of the video, and I'm always able to achieve excellent results in bright sun. All the test photos that I take, I don't use any shielding, any frog tongues, I simply use the two techniques that I've shown already. Now the last thing that I wanted to touch on, and I'll show some example photos on screen as I talk about this, is the subject of heat, because extremes in heat can cause Polaroid to develop I guess, funny color casts. Typically in very hot environments, so above sort of 30, 32 degrees Celsius, the film can tend to go a little bit magenta or purple colored. And if the film is very, very cold, so we're approaching sort of freezing temperatures, like under sort of 5 degrees Celsius or less, film can develop very, very pale, almost like a very light green color cast. So you do want to keep your film developing as close to room temperature, about that magic 24 degrees as possible. Now that is easier said than done if you are outside and somewhere where you can't necessarily control the environment very well. But one of the biggest tips that I can give you is, if you want your film to develop somewhere safe, simply put your photos back into the box that they came from. So while they're developing, stick them in the box, because these boxes are pretty darn light proof. And if it's a really hot day, have them develop under a tree or something like that in the relative shade so that they're not going to be too heat affected, and try and control the temperature as best as you humanly can. Doing so is going to give you the best possible results. Well, that's about all I wanted to say on this topic. For those that may be in the comment section going, oh, well, this modern film is unacceptable and it should be like Instax and just survive in the sort of light environments. Well, all of that is easier said than done, considering that when Polaroid went bankrupt, Impossible Project had to basically start again from scratch in terms of chemical formulation. And if you think the modern film is garbage, you never shot Impossible Project film. When you shot Impossible Project film, you were lucky if you got one good shot out of a pack of 8, and that's just how it was back then. A friend and I were discussing this just the other day, and I was going through some of my photographs from early Impossible Project days, and holy moly, has the film come a long way. Going from this to this. Anyway, hopefully my tips have been helpful. If you'd like to see more tips, feel free to leave suggestions below. As always, I'd love it if you give me a like or a subscribe. All of it helps my channel. If you want to share this video, I'm happy for you to do so. And if you want to support me, buy me a beer or two. Links are in the coffee account below, where you can make a donation. I hope you've had an enjoyable time watching my tips and tricks. Feel free to leave suggestions for more, and ultimately, have a wonderful day and happy shooting.